Julie Roussel here. Thanks for joining in and welcome to Wacky Wednesday, where you never know what the topic's going to be. Apparently I'm running a little late tonight. It just seems like one of those days where just everything happens to go wrong, you know, whether it's you're getting home late from your sport activities, dinner was a disaster, you know, your printer doesn't want to print out your notes that you've typed up, so you're hurriedly scrambling. Hey, Jean, caught you live. Hey lady, hope you're hanging in there despite the wild weather tonight. But as always with any of my live videos, if you hear something that's helpful or you have, please leave a reaction, you know, comment your thoughts in the thread, share the video with anyone you think it might help. Hey Jean, PM me if you have questions or if you want to hear more. I'm always happy to help you, and I hope that the things that I'm sharing help you. Hey Leanne, long time no see, lady. It's great to see you. Thank you. Hey Kelly, thanks for joining in tonight. Jean, I'm glad to catch you too. But I know it's Wacky Wednesday and the topics are always something different. So since I'm trying something different and pretty much trying to hang in there without my notes, tonight's also a little different. It's a demonstration of a sort. For those of you that don't know, I spent a lot of years as a teacher, most of it teaching kindergarten. So I tend to like demonstrations. I like things that I can see in order to learn. Hey Jody, long time no talk, lady. Great to see you. But tonight we're gonna do a little, like I said, a little science experiment. And this is something that I learned from one of my mentors, and it was really helpful for me to understand some of the things that were going on. So I wanted to share it with you. Well, tonight we're going to be talking about and explaining a little science experiment here. So as you can see, I'm holding up this lovely bowl. I'm going to try not to drop it, but you know, when you're not graceful. But in this glass bowl, as you can see, I happen to have a lot of grapes here. I have a layer of raisins, and I have a layer of, as you can see on the top, oatmeal. So we've got grapes, raisins, and oatmeal. Thanks, Jody. I'm so glad you've joined in. It's great to see you. And each of these things represent something important. Because one of my mentors in my training class was teaching us that your skin is a lot like these layers. See, the dermis is right down here underneath on the bottom. And it's kind of like the all-you-can-eat buffet for your skin cells. And it's underneath here. And this is where all your needed nutrients are produced. It feeds your cells. All the beautiful new skin cells that your skin creates are all produced in the dermis layer. And they usually last maybe 28 to 30 days. Now, underneath here, like I said, these are all the newest. And the next layer right here, as you can see my red grapes, and apparently, there we go. Some of my oatmeal was leaking through a little. It's been that kind of day. And this is all that I had, so we're going with it. But this first layer is your epidermis here, and these lovely red grapes are symbolizing the plump, juicy skin cells that we have that are full of collagen, you know, that are created every 20 to 30 days and that are closest to the skin. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, you know, where you can always get what you need. And this is just like your skin cells, just like grapes. Now the second layer, if you can just barely see them, these are some dark raisins. As you can see, they're kind of wrinkled, kind of sticky, and they don't clump together very neatly at all. But this is the second layer, and as more and more skin cells are produced down here in the dermis, they push up to the grapes and then push up to the level of raisins. Pretty neat. But as they move farther and farther away from the dermis here, the skin cells start to die, and they continually are pushed upward. So as they start to die, they look more like, as you can see, the raisins here. And as you get older, as we all find out, our skin renewal processes slow down a heck of a lot, where it's 60 days for new skin cells to be produced down here. And the next layer, as you can see, right on the top here, is oatmeal. Now this is that completely dead layer of your skin. This is that flaky, that dull, that rough stuff that, you know, tends to pile up on your skin, you know, peels off, that you love to get rid of because it feels kind of icky. Well, at least that's the way my 9-year-old describes it. But it tends, like I said, it tends to pile up. It tends to absorb a lot of moisture, and it tends to dry out really quickly. I know you're thinking, okay, sure, right. But what I'm gonna do is demonstrate how over time, as you can see, as your grapes and raisins are moving up through from your dermis through your epidermis, over time, as your skin cells slow down, you end up pouring more and more oatmeal on top. And this is the science part of the demonstration. And of course, I forgot to open my water container ahead of time. It's just been one of those days. But as you can see, I've got tons and tons of those dead skin piled up. And when you pour your water, which is your hydration, your moisturizer, as you can see, if you take a look at it, you can definitely see where the water, your hydration, has gone. It hasn't gone into the next layer of raisins. It hasn't gone into the grapes. It's just stuck on top. It's absorbed the water. It's kind of sticky. And then when it's done, it's going to dry out quickly and still be there. It hasn't done anything to improve the texture of your skin. It hasn't done anything to help in any way either. Because when we apply moisturizer to that dead layer of oatmeal, apologies, my nose just flew off. And usually when the live camera goes on, the live button, my mind goes totally blank. It's just, like I said, one of those days. But when we're applying moisturizer to the dead layer of our oatmeal, it just sucks it up, dries up, and then that water never penetrates below to the lower layers of your skin, where it can end up making the most amount of difference and help your skin renew faster and stay healthier, which is what we want, right? Because the key is, if you don't end up removing these dead layers, more and more pile up. And what happens to your skin is that it becomes very rough, very dull. You get those large pores. It feels very tight and crepey and very dry, halfway through the day. And it looks, feels, and acts older than it actually is. So how do you get rid of all this clumpy oatmeal junk? Ugh. Well, the easiest way is when you use products that are designed to remove it. Your physical, excuse me for a second, there we go, had to put that down. Your physical abrasives, physical exfoliation. Something using a scrub or some sort of microdermabrasion paste that's going to remove the layers of dead skin cells, because you don't want to be scrubbing your face with something extremely harsh, because all you're going to do is end up causing a lot of redness, irritation. You might end up, bursting blood vessels or breaking further into the skin. So you don't want to do that and cause further damage. But you do want to use a physical exfoliator. And then you want to start with applying, your very light products. Something very light, like toner or a light serum, a hydrator. Something along those lines that's going to penetrate into the lower layers of your skin. The next thing would be gels, because those gels can penetrate down into the raisin layer, because once you've removed all of this out of the way, as you can see, you can actually apply your gels and things that will penetrate into the raisin layer and improve the quality as well as the appearance of those cells. And that is something you definitely want to do. And then any other thicker lotions or creams, like those heavy moisturizers we tend to slap on, those would be the ones that you would want to apply. Ugh, I still have more oatmeal sticking to me. Like I said, one of those days. Hey, I see a lot of people joining in. Michelle, nice to see you. Paula, long time no see, lady. And oh gosh, I saw a few more. I'm sorry I missed you. Sometimes the names are flashing too fast across the screen for me to catch them all the time. And especially since my notes are struggling to stay with me tonight. Ay, ay, ayes. And the last thing you want to put on, like I said, is your heavier moisturizers, because that's going to stay on the top layer of your skin and prevent any further moisture from coming out. So what I learned basically out of watching this demonstration in front of me was that you want to follow your steps in order. You want to trick your skin basically into thinking that it wants to speed up your renewal process. And that's a great thing for your skin, because your skin then creates more and more healthy cells. So it looks, feels, acts younger. on a pretty regular basis. Exactly right, Jean. Exactly right. So if you heard something helpful, thanks, Michelle. I guess when you take off the oatmeal, you can get down to the grapes. It makes a big difference. Thanks, hon. So if you heard something that was helpful, leave me a reaction, drop a comment in the thread, share the video with anyone you think it might help. PM me if you have questions or would like some recommendations on things that would help your skin look and feel more like the grapes and not so much like oatmeal. But I hope you enjoyed my little science demo of what I learned about the skin today, the layers and how products and things can work like that, especially how it affects your skin. Because for years I was under the impression, and it was the wrong one, that just washing my face and slapping on some whatever cream I could find 2 to 3 times daily was definitely going to benefit my skin. Obviously I was wrong. But instead, I realized that leaving all that dead skin on was contributing to the majority of the skin problems that I had to battle. What did I know? But now I know that using exfoliation along with the right kind of products, the right amounts, in the right order. Thanks, Jean. Hey, Erin, nice to see you joining in too late. You can always go back and watch the replay. But like I was saying, now that I know that using things in the right products, the right order, just like when you're cooking a recipe of sugar cookies or chocolate chip cookies, it's all in the order, when you do it, how you do it. It's your great recipe for great skin. I'll catch you later.